Hi everyone, Shelly Rael, registered dietitian, nutritionist here. Continuing with the theme of don't be fooled for the month of April. One of the things I want to mention or talk about is a common myth or misunderstanding, as I see it, is when people talk about how they don't eat carbs or they're not eating carbs for the moment. When that is usually not true. Now, people may have ideas of what they think carbs are, but in most cases, I'll just say it outright, they're incorrect. They're wrong. So when I talk to people about carbohydrates, they talk about pastries, they talk about white bread, potatoes, pasta, rice. Those are foods that contain carbohydrates, but pretty much all foods have carbohydrates in it. Carbohydrates are a nutrient that we all need. So carbohydrates are in grains like oatmeal. No matter the type of oatmeal, they all have carbohydrates. They are in nut butters, peanut butters, or this happens to be almond butter. Nuts, seeds, legumes have carbohydrates in them. Now, this is something too, carbohydrate. This is maple syrup. This is sugar. Sugar is a type of carbohydrate, but not all carbohydrates are sugars. So I'll explain that here in a bit because I'm showing you this. This is a tomato, of course, fruit, vegetable, whatever you want to call it, but this contains carbohydrates. It also contains a lot of fiber, vitamin C, other nutrients, lycopene. Just an example here. This yogurt, not switching things around today, doesn't matter the brand, the yogurt, it's a dairy product. Dairy products have carbohydrates in it. You may be familiar with lactose. And even if we get lactose-free versions, all that's happened is there's been an enzyme added that breaks down the lactose for us. There are still carbohydrates in it. So no matter what you're eating, whether it's fruits, vegetables, grain, nuts, seeds, legumes, beans, vegetables, fruits, if it is a plant food, it has carbohydrates in it, period. You can't avoid them. Dairy products have carbohydrates in them because the cows or whatever animal the milk comes from has carbohydrates in it. If you're drinking a nut milk or a soy milk or a milk alternative, it has carbohydrates in it. Now, some things have more, some things have less, but it is virtually impossible to avoid carbohydrates altogether unless you're eating only animal foods like eggs and meats, animal flesh. Those would not have carbohydrates in it much, but you can't avoid them. Don't think that all carbohydrates are sugars. All sugars are carbohydrates, but not all carbohydrates are sugars. That's like saying all fingers are thumbs. They're not, okay? There's a difference there. So get past that. Not all carbohydrates are bad. Carbohydrates are necessary for us, for our brain to properly function, for our red blood cells to do their job, for our muscles to work. You need them, so don't skip them. You can avoid the refined stuff or cut back on the refined stuff. That's fine, but don't skip fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes. You've got it? All right, take care. See you tomorrow.